Hello friend, welcome to Plaid Lattes. In today's video we will be making gluten-free devil cookies, which are just like the Snackwell cookies from the 90s that we all loved, but gluten-free. If that's something you want to see, then do not adjust your screen. So I will link the original down below, but right in my recipe, as my cat licks a knife, right in my recipe, because the reason that this works out is I'm dyslexic, and the actual recipe called for a 1/4 cup of butter, and in brackets said half a stick. I read half a cup of butter. And if you watch any of our other videos, you know I always say to add extra butter when you're baking with gluten-free so it doesn't dry out. Well, in this, it works out excellently to add a whole extra 1/4 cup of butter.
Yes,
so I'm going to cream that. I want to cream it a little bit, and then I'll add in my half cup of brown sugar. Chip! Yeah, he's cleaning up scraps. It's like, this doesn't taste good.
Scrape, scrape,
Scrape, scrape. Okay. So once you have creamed your stuff together and scrape, scrape, scrape it down, see if that balances. Yeah, it should be good. Then I'm going to add my eggs one at a time. Gotta count to 3 before you crack it.
No shells.
No shells. Need a cloth. Always have to have a nice clean damp cloth when you're cracking eggs. Mix that in.
Danger woman.
Yeah. Especially because it like blocks my way to the sink, just, you know. Me and Mom realized we both click it 3 times and crack it.
You gotta go 1, 2, 3.
Yep. Don't know why, just to make sure it's, you know. Well, really, it makes sure that your shell isn't too thin. Because if it cracks on the first soft crack, you know you gotta be really careful. Hi.
Off you go.
No cookies for you.
Off you pop.
You're a
chicken.
demon, not a devil. Do not trust the demon spawn. Mix in your eggs. Nice and proper.
Yeah, that cord goes the wrong way.
I know.
Going the wrong way.
Works well enough. And then, in here I have 1 cup of gluten-free flour. We use the President's Choice blend, a 1/4 cup of cocoa, 3/4 teaspoon baking powder, and a 1/4 teaspoon salt. And you're gonna put in about half. And then mix it. It doesn't normally actually go the wrong way if I'm the other way, but because I'm this way, yeah.
I know.
And then buttermilk or lactose-free milk with a little lemon juice, or if you have plain kefir.
Kefir's awesome.
Chip's just playing in Mom's skirt. And now it's thick enough that it'll just stay on the spatulas, or on the beaters. I'm gonna make sure to scrape down your bowl. Spatulas are useful. Exactly. Spatulas are a cook's best friend. And then another. As you're mixing it, it's gonna start to look like frosting. That means you're doing it right. almost all of my milk. Got a little chocolate booger. Chocolate booger. And I'm just gonna add the milk in that last little bit.
Good.
And mix it, and then I'll scrape down the sides and make sure it's all in there. A little bit of flour pooped out. I feel like that's why a lot of people wear white when they bake, so then they don't have flour splotches on them. Don't really care.
Or aprons.
What?
I didn't even know where your aprons are.
I don't think I packed them because they were all
Guess
from
I'll have to-
that place that shall not be named. I did love the pink ones though.
guess I'll have to sew you a new apron.
Yes, and I like the ones that are just here, like Hannah wears in the Baking Mysteries.
Yes. Murder She Baked.
Murder She Baked. If you haven't watched those, and
And you can get them.
if you can watch, see, I feel like if we can set up W Network on the TV, you should be able to watch them.
Gotcha. They're awesome.
Yes, they are. And for a second, we'll put it back. And then, clean hands, you just want to make sure that you're getting all of it, because it's good shit.
I can never believe the food wastage people do when they like half scrape a bowl out, or
Yeah,
they have whipping
cooking
cream in a
shows.
cup, and it's like a cup of whipping cream minus these 2 tablespoons that didn't pour out.
And then
Like,
when you make it, your recipe doesn't look the exact same. You're like, why? Because
Yeah.
there was more liquid or less liquid. Because the actual thing they're showing you, of course, the behind the scenes person did all the proper scraping, and it has everything in it. And you're like, why is mine wrong? Because you're missing that 2 tablespoons. And sometimes that 2 tablespoons matters. So it will look like chocolate frosting,
yes.
which is awesome. Don't eat it. Don't eat it like that. So you can use a bigger scoop. I like using, it's about a teaspoon one, I think, yeah. We have a tablespoon one. I like using the smaller one. And your oven should be preheated to 350.
It's because I don't like a giant cookie.
No, and when these come out, they will be puffed. So before you put your next batch in, you're gonna push your second cookie sheet on top and smush them, which gives you that right texture, flattens them out a little bit, and of course gives you that flat top for the next layer. If you don't know what I'm talking about with the, because I'll probably just post this as devil cookies, but if you don't know what the Snack Rolls cookies were, they were amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And it tasted like devil's food cake, and then there was a little layer of marshmallow icing and then coated in chocolate. We do a thicker layer of the marshmallow icing and then just do a chocolate layer on top. We don't dunk the whole thing in chocolate.
And these
But-
freeze
Yeah,
amazing.
I was gonna say that at some point, yeah. That's one of the reasons I love this recipe, is it makes a whole bunch of them and then you freeze them. So anytime you want, and it's the perfect mix of a cake and a cookie.
Mhm.
So if you're like, I really want something, then you have them in the freezer. And yeah, they do. They freeze perfectly. So if you have a bunch of people coming over, you take out a few. If it's just you, you take out however many you want. Nobody cares. So I'm in. Gonna pop them in for 10 minutes. I'm gonna double check that time. And we will, once they come out, I'll show you the press. And we will be back for the icing. So you have your cookies out. I'm doing this without the aid of my stand. Just push the other tray on top. It's now hot to flatten them down. And that will make icing so much easier. Okay, so all of our cookies are out and cool. We're gonna make our filling. Start off with half a cup of butter. We're gonna give that a little whiz. One of the reasons I do that is just to make sure it's soft enough. And then marshmallow fluff. You can get the giant container, which is great because then you can make several batches. It's also really good in coffee, whatever. Yeah, it should be enough. And I'm going to use everything that's left. And you just scrape it out. What's Misty crying about? Oh, there's something in the window.
Looking for birds, squirrels, other cats.
Fun. I'm not worried about cross-contamination here because I'm using all of it. I don't want to get it all on my spoon. I should have sprayed this. No, if you're making it, spray your spatula. I forget.
It's been a while since you made them. Not since we moved here, so.
Exactly. We've been here for like a year, so it does kind of. Misty. I was making pizza, which is another video, so there's some cheese on the counter, and Misty's just helping herself. Just clean it up. Baby, come on. Come on. Good girl. You always see Chip, you don't always see Misty in videos, because unless you watch
usually in trouble.
The creating a romantic space one, because then you see her spazzing out on the back of my chair randomly. Because I was sitting and not paying attention to her. You don't need in there. I'm going to need this later. Yep. So I'm just going to use my little offset to scrape this off.
Smoosh in.
It's like, listen, it's messy, but it's okay. Don't use
your kitchen. You have a sink.
Exactly. Don't use your fingers because it's just gonna stick to your fingers. Like you have the desire where you're like, oh, I can just know.
Don't do it.
Doesn't matter how clean you are, it's just gonna stick. All right, pop that in my sink of mystery. There we go. All right, that is now empty. Close that up. That there. Probably should have kept that out, but mix it. And then you're gonna add in your icing sugar. Am I gonna eyeball it? You betcha.
Do you need another spatula?
I think I have one somewhere if I need one. Otherwise I have to clean one because I've been busy. It's been a day. That should be good. Yeah, I just have to wash one off, which is fine. Or no, I have one in a drawer. I have to either put my spatulas in a drawer or upside down because for some strange reason Chip likes to chew spatulas. Don't know why.
This chip is special.
Makes me think of the dog in House. What kind of vindictive dog chews vinyl?
Yep.
And it's usually when he's upset with me that he's like, I'm gonna eat a spatula. Wouldn't that nice? Icing sugar. I think oftentimes I have a little more marshmallow fluff, but if you have it, cool. If you don't, it's all right.
It's all little bit.
Somewhere in there is a speck. They're upside down. Nope. Looking for things without glasses on, there we go, is not fun. And okay. Scrape that down. Okay. And add some more icing sugar. I had to take pizza out of the oven, which is another video, which I don't know if it'll go up before or after this. I haven't decided on that yet. When you're making it, kind of just gets a texture that you know that it's the right one, where it kind of resembles more of the Marshmallow Fluff. It's a little stringier. Mix it just a little bit more. Because you want it to essentially be buttercream Marshmallow Fluff.
That's what the aim is.
That's the goal. Whoop. Should have used a tea plate instead of a teacup.
That's how we roll on the Shire.
Yeah, I already had it out, so it made sense. Yeah, that looks right. With your clean hands, you're going to
Clean your beaters off instead of just throwing them in the sink.
Yep. Because you don't want to lose out on that fluffiness. Especially because we have 38 cookies to roast.
Yes.
Lean across the cord as per usual.
Danger
My
woman.
cloth to wipe my hands. Right. When I could have just moved that 2 seconds ago. You know what? Some things just happen. It's fine. Like looking for a spatula with your glasses on. You know what? That's just life. Alright. And we have our lovely... I put wax paper down. If you don't have wax paper, just put it right on the cookie sheet. Pick up your cookie. If you have an offset spatula, that's best. If you don't, just use a butter knife even. You're going to spread a nice layer of your Marshmallow Fluff.
Misty sees white, and I think she's coming to snack. Oh,
No,
it's okay.
she's going that way.
She's going the other way.
So you're going to spread just a nice layer of your Marshmallow Fluff on top. It doesn't have to look perfect. I'm not going to make you watch me do all of these, just enough to get a sense. If you find when you've gone through that you're like, oh, I'm the person who always under ices and then goes back. If you find you have extra, you just go back and put it on. Because it's not going to hurt it none. Once you have done all of these, you're going to pop this in the freezer for about 2 hours, and we will be back then. So I had made my chocolate and not set up the camera, so I didn't film dipping it because you want to work fast. As I wave around it. About 3/4 cup of dark chocolate, 2 tablespoons of butter, and a tablespoon of corn syrup. You can melt it in a double boiler or in the microwave. If you melt it in the microwave, you have to work really fast when you're dipping. The original recipe calls for semi-sweet. I do dark because it's less sugar, and then you get a better flavor for the marshmallow filling. And I actually finished this like 2 days ago and just didn't get around to filming because life happens.
Take them out of the freezer and let them sit for like 2-3 minutes.
And then you
They're
have
perfect.
your it tastes like chocolate cake with the marshmallow frosting and your chocolate coating. If you've had the Snackwell's Little Devils, it is the perfect gluten-free copycat.
Only better.
Only better. They freeze so well. Keep really nicely in the freezer. They are perfect to keep on hand if you have a sweet tooth.
Or company.
Or company, yeah. Take a couple out and they're like, oh, you whipped this together for me? Yes. A couple weeks ago, it's gone. Don't answer questions you don't have to. Till next time, stay caffeinated, stay cozy.